it is me, Sailor Moon. And it's me, Sailor Earth, Ernest here. And today we're going to talk about, why we're not going to be YouTube mate, or why that's never going to be a thing for us. Now, first off, even if we meet all the oversights to get on, even if we met, that we had a lot of followers and we had a lot of watch time and a lot of looking, and even if we made a lot of films, there is no way that we would either want to be a YouTube mate. And here it is. There's way too many downsides to being a mate than there is to being an upside. Now I know folks like to say, oh, well, you get yielded gold, from Google and, free, yeah. But then they're like, oh, well, you get overchat in your shout out box and overthanks, and, you get mateship, on your fairway, and you get a shop and you can sell things to folks and shit like that. Oh, yeah. And then at the end of the day, like, those are all the upsides, huh? Well, let's look at all the downsides. First off, we would be not only following the followership oversight and the website oversight, which we're following right now, we would then have to follow mateship oversight and showing oversight, which shifts all the time. I don't know if it's monthly or weekly, but I know it shifts all the time. So here we are in good standing and meeting all the oversights and following them. And then, well, they shift one oversight in mateship or in showing, and we didn't keep up with it, and then we lose our good standing that way. So why do we want to why do we want to have more oversights to follow, and then those oversights am up, shifting all the time? And then don't get me started about the gold. It's not like you're going to become that can get that well off on any gold you're getting. Yeah, there's going to be income tool taken out of that gold. And if, for the Gaver, Reich, Earldom, or near. So, that might be a little unlike whatever land you live in. And that's not the least of it. Then you got to be halfway answerable for that too. So, if you really think that we want to have an income, a toll reckoning that we want to be fully halfway answerable for, or want to have upholding and following oversights that shift all the time, no thank you. Then, if it's not bad enough, then have to worry about, ownership and double right, which at the end of the day isn't really a big deal for us because we don't do anything in our films that has anything to do with anyone's else ownership or double right. Well, some folks do and some folks don't. Then having a reckoning on ourselves, like a rank. Oh, well, you can't curse and you can't say this and you can't do that, or you're going to lose the showings off of that film. And then have to be halfway answerable for any showings that we chose to put on our film. So, no, do we really want to go for all that shit? I don't think so. Want to go on now? Yeah, you're right, Sailor Moon. At the end of the day, there are way too many downsides to being a mate than there is to being a mate. Folks like to say, oh, you're going to get yielded, you're going to get gouged. Well, that's true, and folks who work half-time and full-time get yielded for their time. They might be on some kind of health guild. It might not be the greatest, but for some folks, that's good enough. But when you're a YouTube mate, there are way more downsides. One of the other downsides is, one, they're not answerable for anything. Since mateship is free, you can't call them. oh, I guess you can get the wire or a or a talk with them, but it's not really the same thing, not truly the same thing. And at the end of the day, they're not really answerable for anything that goes wrong with mateship oversight or showings oversight or ownership or double right or followership oversight. So while they want to get into it, be a mate and know that at the end of the day, anything that goes wrong, they're not going to be answerable for it. What do I want to do all that shit for? No, thank you. Upholding and following a oversight that shifts all the time. No, thank you. Worrying about our good standing being gone because some new mateship or showing oversight got set up and we didn't know about it. You know, worrying about how much toll's being taken out of our gald. Yeah, and then have to worry about yielding for folks yielding us for followership, mateship, or having a shop and selling things to folks. Do I really want to do all that shit? No. Do I want to be answerable for any showings I put on this film? No. So no thank you. And at the end of the day, being a mate is not the greatest thing in the world. Now, if someone on here wants to go for mateship and they want to do all that, well, great for them. If that's been their goal, to make a business out of their fairway and go for mateship, wonderful. But at the end of the day, I don't want to go for that shit. Oh, sorry. On. Oh, fuck. Alright. Yeah, you're right, Sailor Earth. You're right, Ernest. Why do we want to go through all that for? You know, we will never be a U2 mate. Not that we won't meet the oversights, but all the oversights and all the shit that you put yourself in. You know, about, well, you gotta watch what you say and do in your films. Well, mostly if you're a mate, because following the followership oversight and ownership and double right is the least of your worries, because now you gotta worrying about mateship oversight that shifts all the time, showing oversight that shifts all the time, being answerable for whatever showings you do put in your films, being half answerable for what toll is taken out of your gald, and always worrying about your good standing with anything, with any of those oversights that shift. So, no. Don't want to be a mate. Never gonna be a mate. You'll never ever see us go for mateship. You know, mateship is like the worst thing that you can do. And if some folks want to go for that, great for them. Anyway, if you like this film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the other film we made yesterday over here. I, Sailor Moon Serena. I, Sailor of Ernest, and I'll see you later. Well, this is a long film.